Hey, it's Jonny Pierce from the drums, and you're watching AMBY.
Hey everyone, it's Alicia from AMBY, and I would like to welcome you to my interview with Jonny from the drums. Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
Hey. I'm good. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited. Welcome back to Toronto.
Thank you. It's nice to talk to you again.
I know. We were kind of talking before the camera started rolling. It's been 3 or 4 years since I saw you last.
Yes.
I'm very excited to be catching up.
Yeah, this is great.
Well, I want to dive right into Abysmal Thoughts, latest record
Sure.
release. It must feel pretty good to have some new music out there, be performing it live night after night. How are you feeling about everything?
It's been remarkable. I mean, that sounds like a big word, but that's the one that comes to mind. I just the fact that the drums have been around we're going on a decade now, and I don't know. I think a lot of bands don't last that long, and so I just am so grateful. Just a lot of this has to do with the kids that show up to the shows. You know, they're really the life source of this band, and really encourage me to just keep going, keep making records. And I've been doing signings after each show where I get to meet sometimes like hundreds of people. I'll just sit there till everyone's done. And the one thing people keep telling me is just like, please don't stop making music. And, it's really nice to hear, because before I wrote Abysmal Thoughts, I really was having real questions about the drums, about myself as an artist. And I had, I would ask myself, should I be making music? And what is this actually all about for me? And there were a few times where I thought that I was just going to throw in the towel. So it's just nice to hear all sorts of encouragement. And I guess what's really also like a really nice thing about this time around is I've just really been able to be myself. And on previous tours, for one reason or another, I never felt fully able to just be who I was. And I was sort of like on stage, but I felt like it was...
And distant, almost like you were watching yourself, something like that?
Yeah, in a way, very aware of myself instead of being present and just being myself. I was too considered. I was always just like very aware. And so now I'm able to sort of get lost in the music, and I think it's because I've just, with this new record, I've really put myself out there. I'm not hiding things anymore. I'm not afraid to say things, and so there's a freedom that comes with that. And so I've just decided the drums, we're going to be a more vulnerable band. We're going to just open up, and because I've become more vulnerable on stage, the people who come see the show kind of make themselves more vulnerable, and so it becomes a more powerful show altogether, and we all leave kind of feeling something special had happened.
I always feel like drums lyrics, even going back to the first self-titled record, like you've always been very open and vulnerable. So peeling back an extra layer of almost like bluntness in a way, and I mean that in a very endearing way. Is that hard for you at first?
No, it wasn't. I was eager to do it, and it's actually really intoxicating. It's addicting. It's kind of like, why didn't I go this route sooner? Yeah, and you're right. There was honesty in all the records, but I would always kind of blend, even those early records, I was blending reality with a little bit of sort of whimsy, and so
almost hiding it.
Yeah, just sugarcoating some things, and I don't want to do that anymore, especially in the climate we live in. It's just good to be truthful, and a wise man once told me that you have to lead by example the behavior you want to see in other people. And with the platform that I have, there's kind of no other choice. I really have to step into who I am, honor who I am, try to love who I am, and hopefully that there'll be some sort of domino effect.
Well, 10 years strong, you're clearly doing something right.
Hey, trying.
Something awesome about this record release is you not only wrote all the songs, but you played all the instruments on the album.
Yes.
So wearing all those different hats, did that come pretty naturally to you? Take some time.
It did actually come pretty naturally. This is, the debut album and Abysmal Thoughts are the two records that I don't have a lot of memories making, because they just kind of
flew by.
Yeah, just these records demanded to exist. They really just presented themselves almost. I would sit down and just kind of be messing around, and within a couple hours, this song was there. And how did that happen? Like, I feel like I wasn't even here for that, And so when those types of things happened, you really run with it. And so I just made way for the album. I didn't have to do much. The album just kind of made itself. That's how it feels. So, yeah, and, to be honest, I've always been really quiet about how involved I was with the previous albums, but 95% of every sound you've ever heard on any song from the drums was me on my own recording it. And typically I would make a song and then I would show it to the guys and they'd learn it to play it live, and that's kind of how it always went. But I was quiet about that for so long. I don't know why. I think part of me wanted them to feel more involved, and I didn't have much of a family growing up, so I think when this band came together, I viewed them as sort of my family unit. So I would do anything to like keep them there, for a sense of security. But it was a lot of pressure on them, and it was a lot of work on my part and a lot of sacrifice. And so yeah, it is just me now, but it feels like the right thing. It feels good, and I only want the best for them, and we'll keep in touch here and there. But, I've spent so much time with them, more time than I think most married couples spend with each other. A decade of being on buses and on stage and sharing hotel rooms and doing interviews. You're literally, it's more intense than marriage. It really is. There's no breaks. You're just always together. So this is really good. This is a really good chapter of the drums.
I'm so happy that this new self, too, has also allowed you to kind of just take pride in that. Like, you don't shy away anymore.
Yeah. No, I used to be very sheepish talking about my work, and that, some people could see a quality in that, but really it was just, I don't think it was healthy for me to just kind of shy away every time someone said something nice. So I'm learning to take compliments a little bit better. And a lot of it has to do with my boyfriend. He's really made me feel just like he's helped me realize some good things about myself that I just could never admit to myself. And making this album has also been a huge part of it. I mean, I really looked at myself with this album. Previous albums, I was always pointing the finger. You lied, or you cheated, or you're an awful person. You abandoned me. And this record, I'm looking at myself, asking myself questions. Oh, Jonny, maybe you've got some issues. Maybe you need to work on some things. And so it's really introspective for the first time, really. And so in doing that, it's very therapeutic, So every song I wrote, I was learning more about myself because I was really asking myself questions and listening to myself. And when the record was done, I sort of emerged just like that much closer to feeling whole as a person. So it was a really beautiful process, and kind of being my own therapist in this weird way, Did
you say writing is very therapeutic?
Yes, so. Yeah. No, it's true. Now we know why they say it.
Well, to celebrate the album's release, I created a little game using a couple of my favorite songs from the record. Oh. And the game is called Your Tenderness, or Are You Fucked?
Oh, my God.
I'm going to say a word, and if you like the word, you say Your Tenderness. If you don't like the word in the context, it's Are You Fucked?
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right, so first one, fireworks.
Your tenderness.
Cookies.
Your tenderness.
Roller coasters.
Are you fucked?
Dancing.
Your tenderness.
Wrestling.
Oh, God, that's kind of like, I hate like professional wrestling, like that shitty wrestling, like the fake wrestling. But I think like college wrestling is really sexy. Okay. So it's like, that's your tenderness and Are You Fucked?
How about emojis?
Are you fucked?
Tofu.
Your tenderness.
People wearing black lipstick.
Your tenderness, for sure.
Okay, how about going to the opera?
Your tenderness. I like a fine art.
Fine art. How about video games?
If it's Mario, your tenderness. Anything else, are you fucked?
All right. So like Mario 64 or Mario
Any
Kart?
Mario.
Anything Mario flies.
Any Mario.
Okay.
Mario Kart is not quite. I like the platform Mario.
Okay. I like that. I can imagine the jumping already.
Exactly.
There are a lot of like good ones in there. A lot of tenderness going on.
Yeah, I'm less bitter than I used to be. So.
This game really showed it.
Thank you.
Well, when I spoke with you years back, as I was saying, something that we talked about was your love of soundtracks and Disney films. So to you, what would you say is the ultimate Disney film?
The ultimate Disney film. I mean, gosh, I'm such a sucker. Like, cartoon
Yeah.
or
It could be anything.
anything?
Yeah.
God.
Unless you need a cartoon to narrow it down.
You're right. Yeah, I'm thinking of cartoon. I don't know. I think Disney. I think cartoon. I really like Beauty and the Beast, and I don't know if it. I don't know if that cartoon has aged well. I don't know. My favorite movie is The Sound of Music, but I don't know if that's Disney. I'm not sure. I think maybe they bought it or something.
I don't think it originally was.
No.
At least it's not ringing a bell to
right.
you.
Well, if Disney does own The Sound of Music, that would be the Sound of Music. That would be my favorite. But yeah, I think Beauty and the Beast is pretty remarkable.
Okay. If you were to score a film, what kind of movie genre would you want that to be? Have you thought about that before?
Yeah, I don't know why when I think of like scoring films, I think of like a movie like There Will Be Blood or something like set in the desert and something kind of long and linear and harsh and definitely like a tragedy, you know. So something like that I would enjoy getting experimental on.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw a photograph of the drums, I just absolutely loved how stylish the band was. Like, you guys always have such a cool look. So is that something that you've always taken pride in and always looked at, or did kind of that come later?
I think we've always, you know, we got a lot of shit for that from, like, the Brooklyn scene. Like,
really?
Yeah, because at the time, everyone was just wearing, like, tie-dye shirts, and they had beards, and everyone was just kind of like, hey, I bought a drum machine, I'm an artist. And there was something about that to me that was a little boring. That was very in. Like, Pitchfork loved that. Everyone loved that. Like,
we know Pitchfork loved their beards.
Yeah,
so
they love the beards. It's just like, hey, I'm just like you. And Pitchfork loves any band that's just like you. And we wanted to be the opposite. We wanted to... But even the Beatles, they would all have the same haircut, and they'd all wear a white suit at the same time. And they had a certain look. And when they all changed their look and became hippies, they all became hippies together. And there's something kind of cool about that to me.
Absolutely.
That's a very classic idea if you're talking about pop music. And so we just kind of wanted to do that for a while. And so now I'm not like playing matchy-matchy with anyone. I'm kind of just dressing myself. But I have like, I'm still pretty particular about what I wear on stage. Off stage, look at me. I'm in like a
wearing his own merch.
Never thought, wearing my
plug
own merch.
plug.
I wonder, like, I just need like.
And it matches.
I need a drums tattoo too. But. Yeah, it all matches. Yeah, of course. But no, I designed this with my boyfriend. We designed this together. But yeah, no, it's become less important to me, the visual side of things, as far as like what I'm wearing. But I don't know, maybe not. I mean, I am very particular, and I just think like how we see something and how we hear something when they can connect. There's something powerful in that, and suddenly you kind of understand the whole picture. You know, this band they're not just four guys that rehearse in a garage and walk on stage. Like, they're presenting us with this whole sort of complete world, and it's our choice to step into it or not, you know, and I love that idea.
When you look back on certain fashion fads you went through, is there anything you're like, maybe I wasn't super particular and you're embarrassed of? Anything come to mind?
God. Yeah, I don't know. I was like trying this. When the band started, we were doing this like 50s Americana, James Dean-esque thing. And then I kind of got sucked into like this a little bit more like high-end thing. Like my friend Hedy Slimane, he's like, he did Dior for a while, and then he went and revived Saint Laurent. And he was giving me like nice clothes to wear and stuff, and I appreciate it so much. And I wore some of the stuff, but it's really like not like high-end fashion. I've just realized it's just not for me. You'll see later tonight if you see the show that there's the outfit I wear is literally like a factory jumpsuit. It's like a coverall. And I just have to honor who I am, and I've always been really into, like, I have a fetish for like factory gear and like these are like work shoes, and like I'm really into like that blue collar look. I really appreciate that, and it's very like sexy to me. So I guess like I'm just trying to like step into that a little bit, and you know, like on my album cover, it's like my boyfriend's smelling an athletic shoe, and he's wearing like kind of like shitty clothes, and I just like that's kind of where I'm headed. So it's not so Americana anymore.
But you look at that, and that's perfection to you. So I mean, there's beauty in it.
Yeah, and we all evolve and we all change. And look, this has always been a fetish of mine. I'm just now on my own, and I'm able to express it. So It's wonderful.
Well, just to wrap things up, I do want to bring things back to the fans. Is there anything you want to leave with all of those who will be viewing?
Oh, yeah. I can't believe that all this time has gone by and that there are still people who are just excited about this band and excited about the new record. We have a sold-out show here tonight, and I just couldn't be more grateful. I guess if you haven't got the new record, this is my little plug, and you have some preconceptions on like who the drums are, or who I am, that's a good chance to kind of like lay all that to rest and just listen to the new record, and you'll maybe like have a new appreciation for what we're doing in the drums. So.
I want to say congrats on the new record release.
Thank you.
Congrats on a sold-out show and a decade of the drums.
A decade of the drums, yeah. It's crazy. I mean, tell me about it.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Of course. And remember, to everyone viewing, you can visit us at musicblogger.com for all exclusive interviews, features, videos, and so much more. See ya.